welcome to Rad Rolls. We find our wonderful detective at the bar of the what is it? I don't know if you all know the name of this hotel yet. I think you're just at a hotel. I mean, you only really know the name of one person in this hotel, so I'm not a one living person. I'm not,
guess what? It's not us.
It's not you all either. You all are at the bar of the hotel where you have trotted from a lady sitting by the swimming pool that was rather flippant with you to investigate her husband, Guy Van Guy, which was written in Daniel's notebook. Your presumed brother that is passed on, that said that maybe the Guy Van Guy may be very suspicious, and Bossman and Daniel were maybe thinking of kicking him out of the hotel. When you all approached the bar, Guy Van Guy was boisterously exclaiming about how he could do magic, and telling you all specifically the wonders and mysteries that he could provide for you all. And in front of him and sitting next to you was a man that you recognized as the man in the grave next beside. Oh my gosh, I'm using my daughter's terminology. Now I'm going to turn into a toddler and I'm just going to speak in broken sentences. It's going to be a whole mess. The guy beside you. Rugged man, the man that you saw in the grave. This is a dead man, but he's clearly living right now. And you sat down in the bar right beside him. I believe that the chiaroscuro is in control of the detective, and the man at the bar is going to turn to the chiaroscuro and say, "Well, Daniel, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a little bit. I'm glad you're doing okay. Hey, I know you've been looking and investigating stuff around the hotel, make sure everybody's doing all right, but have you found anything out yet?"
Don't tell him anything. We owe this man nothing.
Nope. Just running down the clock. Relax.
You're running down the clock. Okay, good. Because I've got a full list of people that I think are exceptionally un-American in more ways than one. I'm happy to provide you a list of people that I've kind of observed from time to time of who could be. I mean, I don't have it written down, but I've got a mental list. It's all up in this steel trap of a raccoon hat I got up on top of my head. You know what I mean?
You keep a steel trap under your raccoon hat.
It's a figment of speech and imagination together, all stirred up in a pot. Real nice.
I think we should
Last
get that
I
list
checked,
from him.
Yeah. Let's get the list.
Last I checked, non-communists could also kill people if that's what he's suggesting. Dig a little deeper. Ask him about communism.
So I really appreciate you stepping forward to provide a list of people who, in your estimation, have been involved in un-American activities. To what extent exactly would you say the most egregious of the ones on your list have gone? Have they gone maybe a little bit pink, or would you consider them to be like a Firehouse Red? Just in your personal brain pot you got under that weird hat of yours.
So I mean, as far as egregious, I can call out a few, but I'll just ask you to keep this between us. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm just here.
Oh,
of course. I'm here. I'm not trying to. But Daniel, I'm happy to help you with whatever any of the guard business that you're up to. Protecting the hotel and doing all that stuff. whatever you need. We go back a ways, and it's always good to see you. But yeah, I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. How long has it been, old buddy, old pal of mine? How long
what
has
you've been a guard here for what? You've been here 8 years? You've been here?
I know time just really does fly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean,
now
now
doing
you're
holding down a job.
You're kind of dressed funny for a guard, if I'd say so.
Well, what kind of guard would I be if I just dressed like every other guard? I mean, you'd see me coming from a mile away. It's not like you'd have everybody wearing the exact same thing all the time, right? Remembering that we have no concept of what a uniform is.
I mean, I could probably tell you or explain it to you, but I couldn't necessarily call you out. But you look different from the last time I saw you, for sure.
Oh, we did recently go swimming, so maybe it's the wet look that could be.
Oh yeah, you're in there with Vivian, and she's not top of my list, but she's certainly on there. Most definitely, for sure. Sometimes you get too much money. You ever get too much money in your life? You get more money you can shake a stick at, and then you take it down, and it makes you dumber than a bag of hair. It's a whole thing. Anyways, un-American folk you talking about? You want to know?
Yeah. I absolutely would love a list of names, and it'll definitely stay between us.
All right. The first one's Estevez.
You got a first or a last name to go with that?
It's Estevez.
His name is Estevez.
Yeah, he's got a weird hat, and he's got like a weird little face, and his shirt's all strappy.
So weird hat, and so a strappy guy named Estevez.
Yeah, he snaps his fingers. And who does a lot of snapping of fingers just for fun,
Yeah,
what kind of ritual cult's part of where you're just snapping your fingers all the time? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I would say jazz musicians, football and baseball coaches, sometimes, ushers and maybe
it's probably a secret code for communism. It's probably something that he's communicating with, and it's probably through the natural frequencies in which put the, once your finger hits the bones of the other finger and you're putting out that frequency in the air, he's going to hit the brain cells of a lot of the different. Anyways, it's highfalutin. I know it's like a whole thing. Estevez is definitely one to watch out for. Very un-American. Do you want another name? I can give you another name.
Hold on, pause. At this point, I'm gonna hand this over to my to the expert on weird, like, conspiracy stuff, because this just went right over my head. It's just like it shorted out a part of my brain that's like, what? So, bing, tag, you're it.
Let's cut the bullshit, all right? I know you're just trying to confuse me right now. These lists of names, this is bullshit. Where are these names coming from? I'm here to find a killer. I don't care about your communist nonsense today. So you're going to help me or not?
Can you do an authorization roll for me?
What are we rolling this? I don't remember. Just
2d6, and 2D6. We've got no pluses or minuses, so it's a straight roll.
Yep, got it.
Hey, oof. Still success. Mixed, but or partial.
A mixed success. Yeah. I'm gonna take a point of I'm gonna take a point of deja vu for the world. Is it when I get to? Is it 7 that I get the flashback? Because I think I just got.
It's 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I'm starting again. Okay. Cool. Taking a point of deja vu, and he's gonna look at you, and say, "Well, I mean, I don't want to get in trouble with the government. That's not on my list of concerns. So what do you need from me?" And I'd
this
happily
goes
oblige.
higher than the government.
Higher than the government?
Yes. We need to go deeper.
Hit them
If
with
we're
the
going to
super
solve
government.
this- if we're going to solve this, look, just between you and I, all right, I think they might send one of the judges. So we need to
Okay.
figure out what's going on before that.
Okay, but what are we solving?
The murder.
What murder?
All of them.
Who got murdered?
That's what we need to find out.
You need to find out who got murdered.
Yes.
Then and only then we can figure out the other W's.
Sorry. Yeah, we
Okay.
need to find out who got murdered and why. That's why
Okay.
we're here.
Okay. I think if anybody
Also,
was gonna,
let me stop you real quick.
yeah,
Have you been in any graves recently?
no,
No?
I mean, not since when my daddy passed, I was at a graveside.
Hey.
But-
probably nothing. You're probably going to be fine.
Okay. So I can change my list. Who I think could be murdered, right?
Or do the murdering. Either one.
Or
really
do the
would be
murdering.
helpful.
What is there are you looking for the overlap between the two?
Yes. I
Okay.
think.
That's a weird Venn diagram because the center's just suicide.
Okay. I would say there's a guy. His name's Stripper. And Stripper, he's the chef. And he uses a lot of knives, so that's prime murder material. He's got a lot of knives. But he also does a strip tease while he cooks, and people may not like that. And
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
people
Got a
may
thing
not
for
like
buckets?
that, and so they might try to kill him too. Does he have a thing for buckets?
Yeah.
No, but
he-
I mean, the
no,
only
he bucket
person I've seen
people?
with a bucket is the bellhop, and he's used the mop at a bucket.
Bellhop. Bellhop. Okay.
Bellhop.
Okay. What's the bellhop's name?
His name's Bellhop.
Why does nobody know his name?
Is it Bill Hop? Oh,
You know,
Bellhop
ask
Senior.
more
how-
about this Bill Hop.
You know how ideal this situation is? Nobody has like their birth name.
That is-
It's great. Your name can just be anything around here. They just
Yeah.
define you by your occupation.
Or a personality trait.
Yeah.
Well, now I really need to figure out what our name is.
Say, do we want his hat?
No. Oh,
don't
there's
know
like
that.
he said there's like
Oh.
soup or something in it, or maybe a steel trap.
Okay. All right.
I'm
I thought I would put it to a vote before I just
I mean-
did it.
We could ask for it.
No. No. I mean, we could.
Shh, 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 shh,
I don't want to wear that hat.
You guys are distracting me. Have you had any visions lately? Like in the rooms? Have you been going into the room? Did you have any visions in the rooms? Did you play with the lamps?
Do a extra familiarity roll.
Get a +1 on
+1,
this,
right?
and you have 2 perks that
Yeah.
may or may not.
I don't know. So, I mean, I guess the stranger maybe. What's the other one?
So you've got City Strangled and Red Strings, and you've got the Estranger. Also, you have expertise because the supernumerary also has exofamiliarity. When you successfully investigate the exofamiliar, you also learn whether it's dangerous or how it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of like the Red Strings one. trying to see if he's connected to the visions as well.
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah,
having
yeah.
them. So we'll go with that. Whoa.
Dang.
Nice.
Alright, so-
full on. The full Monty of a 12.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me,
Yeah.
11.
I learned the general nature of the connection as well, described in a single word. So choose a good word.
The general nature of the connection.
What is the connection of the murder to the visions, I guess, or this guy to the visions or the murder?
Yeah. So you asked him that question, and so the nature is, I would say, parallel. He looks at you, says, "Now the other night, I dreamed that I was walking through the woods, and it was a good walk through the woods, and I was having a good time. But you know what? I think the bellhop hit me with a shovel, and then I woke up. That's the dream I had last night. That's not a very, good. There's no woods around here. It's just a hotel. No woods.
Let's check his head for a
yeah,
wound.
May we learn whether that's dangerous or how it could be?
Sorry. Are you? What are you fishing for?
So because we did get that exofamiliar roll,
Yeah.
we can learn whether it's dangerous or how it could be. So he's having a vision that could have potentially. We had parallel visions. There, if he felt like he was hit in the back of the head with a shovel, and in one of our visions he was in a grave, presumably dug by a shovel, presumably left there to rot. Yeah, do these? I mean, are we getting Freddy Kruegered? Are our dreams being eaten?
Okay. Yeah. So what you can tell is these visions are not the future; they are the past.
Perfect. All right. Supernumerary, you had the right idea. Let's take off his hat. Let's just
See if he's got
Check for wounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see if there's a big ol' slash on the back of his head.
When you take off his hat, what do you? I know you're looking for the headpiece. What do you do with the hat?
I guess put it on, right?
Pocket it. I vote
it
pocket
might have
it.
lice or something.
Okay.
We'll look inside the hat. I don't know. Putting on a hat's a little too much.
Yeah, at least smell it first.
So you're coming off.
Look at his head.
that,
Look at the hat.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Just roll a
Isn't there a violence one?
an inertia roll. I would say you're just being very like it's a very matter of fact thing. It's like you're just like, not please sir, may I have your hat?
Yeah.
I just want to know the nature of it. So you can do a.
Guys have minus one. R2D6 minus 1. Nate.
An 8, a mixed success, and I will take a point of deja vu. And I will tell you that. Okay, so you take off his hat, and he kind of just like is taken aback a little bit. He's a little bit confused as to why this is happening, and you look at his head, and there is nothing wrong. It's just kind of like slightly balding man. Just like, he's got like, he's patchy in some spots. Like there's no head trauma there. The hat itself, you look in and there's nothing discernible in there. It looks like nothing involving really a grave is involved in this hat at all, or dirt, if that's what
Excellent.
you're looking for.
This hat is now evidence.
Sorry about that. Just you can have your hat back. I just needed to check and make sure
it's
you didn't
evidence.
wake up dead.
You've got to keep it.
I just wanted to make sure that you didn't wake up dead. I mean, that would have been really not great, but it seems like you woke up alive.
I understand your concern about the hat because the hat is something that I did murder. It was probably the most murdered thing that I know of in the hotel, and I understand 100%, sir, your confusion. This is Daniel, this is pretty overwhelming. I just want to be of service.
Right. Now, one other question for you. This guy, the van guy.
Oh, Van Guy, yeah. He does tricks with quarters.
Like
he's got one in one hand, and then he goes when he throws them on the table, and then it goes to the other hand. It's magic. He's not a communist because he's a man of God, clearly, with all the magic. There's also a man of God at this hotel as well. I wonder if they know each other. That's a good question.
What's the name of the man of God? I wonder?
His name's Pryor.
Okay.
Tracks.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just give me the list too.
Oh, so you want a list of the un-American folk? Or the people who might be murdered, or the people who might do the murdering?
If you could circle the ones that could be murdered and X the ones that did the murder.
I don't have a piece of paper or a pen. I can
we have a notebook.
We do.
Do you have a pen?
I genuinely don't know, do we?
We've been able to modify our badge to say the super duper.
Oh, we did. I think
detective.
we do actually have a pen. We have written things down.
Implied
yes.
we have a pen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Got me there.
Yeah, and at one point we wrote that we were a super detective too.
yeah, that's right. We have definitely written down things. Sure, yeah, let's give him a pen. I don't know.
All right. So, what list do you want him to write down? What's the list of names?
I want his list, his communist list, and I want him to circle the names that he thinks of people that could be murdered, and X the names of people he thinks could do murdering.
All right. I'm going to take silence for a second while I take this. That way we can just get it all done.
And then somebody more responsible should take over once we have a list of names. Otherwise, we're just going to start. We're going to lose control here.
We should make sure he includes his name and our name on the list. Under definitely not killer for ours, obviously.
Actually, there is no definitely not killer marking. There's only could be murdered, which we could be, and could do murder, which we could. So
all right, well,
realistically, all the names should be circled and X at the same time.
Well, then why would we have him make the list of everybody can be murdered and can be a murderer?
Because it'll tell us more about what he thinks of the people.
This guy's
That's
nuts.
why.
Do we really
That's
care
why
what he
somebody
thinks?
else needs to. That's why somebody else needs to take over.
Not
Yeah,
it.
I'm on board with that. I think that's the way to think about it. We're getting into his mind, and we're seeing how he perceives what's going on.
This part of the brain is not actually helpful. It just every once in a while something helpful happens from it.
You're
That
right
almost
about
sounded like the supernumerary was volunteering.
All
Yep.
right. So the list that he wrote down was, sorry, like switching between accents. Communists are Teddy, Doggy, Estevez, the people that are most likely to be murdered. This is great superlatives for your book. Most likely to be communists, Teddy, Doggy, and Estevez. Most likely to be murdered are Vivian Byvance, Boss Man, and Stripper. Most likely to be a murderer is Doggy, Stripper, and Bellhop.
Okay, well, we know Vivian and Bossman have not been murdered. They're currently alive. So Stripper was Stripper the murdered man? Should we go?
Was he wearing clothes?
I don't remember.
He was wearing clothes. They were like blue.
And he had a bucket.
Let's go to
on his head.
Let's go to the kitchen.
The thing, I don't know if you remember this detail, just as a general fact that you recognized once you walked in is this guy that you're talking to looks exactly like the guy in the grave.
Including what he's wearing. Although he's not wearing the same hat now because we're wearing the hat.
That's why we had to check to make sure he didn't wake up dead.
But the guy in the grave is from
not even gonna...
room vision, right? Not the murdered body.
Not the original murdered body.
Yes.
No.
So he could be murdered in the future, is what you're saying.
He is murder eligible.
Yeah. So he doesn't have a wound yet, so there's something timey-wimey going on. Will it happen? Did it happen so long ago that it's already healed? Because we've apparently been working here for 8 years, but our other notes say that we were summoned by our brother.
It's also possible
we've also been called David.
Oh, yeah, right. It's also possible that somebody just coated the doorknobs to those rooms with like THC or psycho or something, and we have just been tripping balls the whole time. I mean, we don't know, not for sure. Right?
Yeah, we got.
Oh, come on.
Wait, is Guy Van Guy still in this room?
He stepped out, but he's in the room, but he's like at the other side of the bar. He's like fixing himself drinks. He's allowing you and Harold. So like, if you wanted to procure him, you could. You came in here to talk to him. He introduced himself to you. He went away while you talked to this man that you don't have his name yet.
Let's ask for his ID.
The name of the person we're talking to.
Let's make him show us his ID, because we're official detectives. You should show us some
super
ID.
detectives. Super detectives. Mm-hmm.
Cody's character, what's the name of it? Is in
Harrisbeck
still. Yeah.
Listen, buddy, pal. I need you to do a couple things, okay? I want you to stay nice and healthy. So you need to give the bellhop a wide berth. All right? Don't be going to no grave sites. Don't be doing none of that. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
And the second thing I need you to do.
He's definitely a communist, right?
Who knows?
Cool.
I mean, we could all be communists. This thing goes that deep. Goes that deep. I know.
Don't say that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Sleeper agents.
I don't like that at all.
I know. That's why we got to sort this out.
Oh shit!
And the part of sorting this out is I need you to just hang out here. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. If you go somewhere, yep, right here. Just in case I need to come back and talk to you.
Okay. I'll be right here.
So just put your hands flat on the table.
Can I talk to anybody?
Ideally, no.
Oh shit! So you're thinking I'm the communist now? Damn.
Oh no! I just don't want. I don't want you.
You ever heard of a double negative? It's like reverse psychology. They probably reverse psychology me, bastards.
Could be.
You get them.
Which is why I need you to not talk to anyone about this list.
Yes, sir.
You can order like a drink or something, but beyond that.
Well, I can't talk to people, so I just like point. Can I talk in caveman speak? What can I do?
What does he mean, caveman speak?
I'll tell you what. Just don't talk, and we'll be back.
Okay.
And let's go. We walk away.
Cool.
We've left him. Guys, we gotta go find Stripper. Or not find Stripper.
The kitchen. Because if he's the cook, he'd be in the kitchen. And if he's not in the kitchen...
He's also a professional stripper, so is there a pole around here somewhere?
Professional...
It's all making That's all making a lot of sense, but what we're gonna go do is go ask the bellhop where he is.
Okay. Do we
The
want to
kitchen,
trust the
We're
bellhop?
not going to talk to Guy Van Guy.
We just did.
Look, unless somebody takes over, that's not what we're doing. If you want to take over
Oh,
and go
I
back
don't.
to talk to
I
Guy
don't
Van
want to.
Guy,
I don't want to
you
talk to
can.
that. No, I don't want to talk to that weirdo no more.
we're gonna go
Let's,
ask the bellhop where the stripper chef is, and see what he has to say.
Do we want to trust the bellhop? It doesn't sound like he's very trustworthy.
God no.
We'll know after talking to him if he's telling the truth.
We're not trusting
I'm
the
confident
bellhop.
in our abilities.
Trust no one. Remember?
Yeah, that bellhop,
Mm-mm.
he could be a murderer according to the list.
Right. The list that includes everyone.
Yes.
Right.
It wouldn't be a very good list if it didn't include everyone.
You know what? I don't have an argument against that. You're not wrong.
Not wrong yet.
The night is young. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, we might go think about going down a water slide for 2 hours again.
So are you all going to see the bellhop now?
Unless somebody else takes over.
So so instead of doing, unless if you want to talk more about the bellhop, or if you just want that singular piece of information, I can just tell you. We could just like flash forward to the restaurant scene, or if you want to talk to the bellhop.
If there's nothing is going to interesting happen if we ask the bellhop where this other person is, then we can just skip to go looking for the other person.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
If the bellhop has nothing interesting to say, then that tells us something interesting in and of itself.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you go to ask the bellhop. Bellhop's like, all right, the stripper is in the restaurant, and you all enter the restaurant on the third floor. It's actually, the walls are like this red color, and they've got these giant hibachi style grills in the middle of the restaurant. There's two of them, and there are kind of a bunch of chairs in front. Nobody's sitting at them. And on the hibachi grill there is like everybody's got a little placemat and everything, and there's a little bell at the center of it. And that's what's in there.
Are there other
No,
people, or is it empty?
It's empty.
Who wants some meat?
We're gonna have to ring the bell if we want meat.
Ring the bell for service.
Are you ringing the bell?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
guess so.
You ring the bell, and then you hear kind of like a clattering, and through one of the red walls, it kind of like opens like a fake wall, and opens itself, and out comes a guy in a giant chef's hat. It's comically tall. His skin is like kind of yellowish in color, I would say. He's wearing full-on sunglasses on his face, and they are thick. These are thick old bad boys with sunglasses, and he's completely shirtless. He's got like a big old six-pack, all like musculared up. He has a very serious face on. Let me show that to you all. He's got a face on, this is stripper, that looks like he means business. And he approaches the table and he says, "All right, guys, do you want some Kobayashi, or do you want some Wagyu? I can do a little bit of both. Maybe I can put some onion rings in a circle and really light this shit on fire. You know what I mean?"
Oh,
I have
You don't
no
look
idea what
dead.
he's talking about, but I'm into it. Just yes. Say yes. Say yes to all of it.
he's not. He doesn't look dead to me, so you can take over.
Are
thought he was-
you
I thought he was
sure?
gonna be a
He's
dead
like got that weird yellowish color, and he's wearing a really weird hat. I mean, as far
Should we
as we
take
know,
his hat off?
There might be a rat under there, like puppeting him or something. Who knows?
Should we take the hat off?
Don't you think that'd be rude if we keep taking people's hats?
Don't you think if we wait long enough, he'll do it
I
himself?
think we might have to take the hat off.
Are you did you already pass the mic, the magnifying glass? Is it? Did you pass that? or did-
Mike can have it. That's fine. He got pretty hyped about the meats.
The supernumerary has control.
It's
Okay.
meat time, baby.
Honestly, the Haru Specs was hoping either the bellhop or stripper man was involved, and he's kind of
The meat man is in town. Take it.
there's
Okay.
gonna have to be some other new enlightenment here.
I'm gonna tell Stripper that I don't know what a wagyu is. I don't know, but I want to see him in action. I want him to bring the meats. I want a tower of onions. I am just so excited to see him work. I want the full experience, and I want to look genuinely just like interested in this weird yellow man.
All right, yeah. So he looks at you and he kind of nods to you, and he takes in his hand a bottle of cooking oil, and he spreads it over the table, and kind of takes a little bit and puts it on each of his nipples, and then pulls out a lighter and strikes it and lights all of it on fire. And the table erupts in a giant flame as like you feel the heat against your skin. His nipples are also on fire, in which case he takes his knives out and starts like pressing them against the skin, rubbing off the cooking oil from that, and then dampens out the nipple fire that he's created on himself. He pulls out out of his cart a selection of very different meats, and he says, "We don't have wagyu, but we've definitely got this." And he pulls out a sausage and he kind of wags it around in the air, and then hits it against the cooking table so hard that it sizzles out in like a spark. And he starts leaning in. He leans in with his shoulder and kind of flexes his muscle as he cuts little slices of the sausage. And he says, "So what can I help you with, other than the meat?"
I'm gonna clap. We are clapping for this performance. This is
And you're gonna be
amazing.
Oh man, that is the most unsettling thing I have ever seen, and we've recently spent time in close confinement with a body. That was just, terrible.
I think the list
wanna-
was right.
I want to ask Stripper where he gets this meat from. It looks so fresh and
No.
amazing. Where?
No.
What is his source?
No.
Oh, you want to know the source of my meat? Is that what you really want to know? Well, I can tell you that
me where it comes from.
it's not genetically modified. It's 100% all real. I'll tell you that much.
Is it grade A certified? All American beef?
It's grade D certified, if you know what I mean.
Oh. I don't, but I love the sound of it.
Do you think
I
he
like the
shows
sound of
his
the
penis
sizzling,
near
too.
this hot oven? Like, that seems dangerous.
He seems like a dangerous
He-
man.
He just smacked it down like on a hot thing and started slicing it into small. Okay, maybe we should ask this guy why he's
No,
jaundiced.
that's entendre. Like, he doesn't.
No,
like,
no, I
put
get
his-
it. I get that. That is not the most setting his nipples on fire was by far the worst part. But
No, I think it could get worse.
Do you think
I
this
think
is
it's even
human?
worse.
I am
But I
now
absolutely
morbidly curious
have to know
see
the
how much
source of
worse
this
this
meat.
could get. How much worse could it get? This guy's
Because-
definitely a
Who's the
serial killer.
supplier? Who procures the meat for this wonderful establishment?
Do a grand definition on the meat for me.
All right.
Do
how
the
do I
supernumerary,
roll this
right?
thing? Yeah. Is it backslash roll?
It's
Slash R.
R
Slash R.
2d6. After that, you space 2d6. Slash R space
Slash
2d6.
Oh,
Oh, and
Nice.
then what's
What is
you have
what
a
is happening?
drawback for
We're
grand
about to-
definition too.
we're about to forget a concept here.
Yep.
What is meat?
We're about to forget the concept of vegetarianism. It's what's going to happen here.
You have forgotten that like flesh could be consumed if cooked.
Oh
Like,
my God!
There are only vegetables. There's only fruits. There's only grains. Like the idea that you could consume another animal's flesh in any form or fashion, you have completely and totally forgotten about. And frankly, to you, you're looking at this and you're like, it's probably just like a bunch of beans chopped up and then they put it in like a little sack and he's just chopping it up.
Chopping some beans. So I've got to know, like, what is this made out of? Like, how did he fashion this meal? Like, what seasonings? What's in season?
Oh, you're talking. Oh, what's my seasonal offerings?
Yeah.
I mean, I can put a little Christmas hat on it if you want and kind of sling it around again. Do you want me to do that?
If you have one.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a tiny little Christmas hat and puts it around the edge of the sausage, picks up the half-cut cooked sausage and kind of flings it around a little bit. He says, does that really sauce your buns?
It does, man. Can I have a bite?
Of course. Compliments the chef. I'll make sure to watch, make sure you do it right. And he says, by the way, we don't use utensils here. It's all 100%
I mean, you can place this right in my mouth if that's how you do it.
By God, that's my speciality. And he takes the sausage and holds it out for you. And what are you going to do? You gonna chomp that?
I'm gonna chomp it.
Okay.
You can't place the like what this vegetable is. Frankly, like you're like, is it a grain? Like, is this just like overdone? Like, why is there so much salt? What's going on with the salt content? Like, is there butter?
That's so juicy.
Yeah, like what's the juice factor here? Like, you're thinking like maybe is this like some sort of clove situation? You've heard of like walnut trees. It's kind of a weird thing, you know. You hesitate to understand what this sausage could mean for you. It's not a great taste either.
I've never had anything like this.
I can't believe you put that in our mouth. What's wrong with you?
Hey,
Well, that's how food
new
works.
experiences.
You
You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta try new things.
And
like
he takes out some more meats and lays them out on the table, and he kind of takes a kind of a roll of chopped meat and kind of like rolls it up and puts it into kind of a ball, and he takes another roll and puts it into like a bun, and he said, are you a balls or buns guy?
I don't know yet, but I'm anxious to find out.
Well,
Now, since I don't understand, so the concept of eating flesh is completely lost on me. Will I be able to put it together that this is flesh and this should be like horrific? Or is that I'm just not going to understand?
Would you like to understand? Like you will like. Okay. Yes. Okay. Can you do a? Let me think about this. How do I want to roll you out of this? Because you forgot the concept of flesh, or like just like eating meat, and so now you've eaten meat. So situation determines that you probably should relearn what meat is, and I think that's probably. I think that's a. I'm gonna call this a night side roll. Could you roll night side for me?
Mike, just so you know, you earned deja vu for forgetting what meat was. So if you need to roll.
right.
Yeah. You put something you weren't sure was edible in our mouth.
I wouldn't even do that.
Oh, a 10. Okay, yeah, a
Plus
10 for
one is
that.
an 11. Yeah.
It's an 11. Yeah. Yeah. You all of a sudden you understand. Animals can be killed. Their flesh can be cooked, and all the nutrients that they have ingested throughout their life is then pulled into the carcasses of these animals. That after you cook, enhances the flavor, enhances the amount of protein that you can get in your body. And truthfully, this is the best food that you could possibly eat. In fact, you like the idea of this new flavor, this new product so much that you are addicted. You were like, I need meat. I need it now. Meat, meat, meat. Johnsonville brats, go meat. That is your new perspective on the land of meat.
Little smokies for everybody.
Right.
So now with this fiending for meat, when he lays out that meat, I want to get all of the meat.
Yes.
But this is where, if I was,
Let me help you, brother.
by all means, I am now passing the magnifying glass.
All right.
So, we have a taste for meat. And Stripper is serving it all up. Like, okay, yeah. Balls, buns, breast, legs, thighs. What you got?
Oh, so you want the full 360 experience?
I want it all.
I think we're gonna need some dollar bills.
Yeah, he takes off his towel that he has in the bottom and rolls it out for you all, and he is wearing just a Speedo. On this towel, he has hung a number of different meats, and he starts pulling them by the threads off of them. Some of them are jerky, some of them are raw meats that he is then throwing right on it, and then he puts all of the meats and lays them all out. Various chickens, various beef meals, pork meals, and he's kind of throwing it all onto the plate, and then he puts his legs out up on the table in almost like a birthing position and starts swirling around the meat all on the hibachi grill right there, and says, "This is what I call meat tornado."
Swallow me up. I'm here for it. Say, that's a lot of meat. Like, so after, I'm done here, where do you go to reload?
Go ahead and roll a signal roll for me.
Signal discipline?
Yeah. You got +1 on that.
That's still just a 5. I don't think I have any deja vu. No, I do have deja vu. I would like to use my deja vu.
All right, re-roll that.
Is that a reroll or is that increase the quality?
We'll find out.
Let's see. That's potentially page 14.
I was like, why is all this weird? I'm at the end of the book. Oh, so you automatically move it to a mixed success.
Okay,
So
I
you
would
don't even
like
need
to.
reroll. You can just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
would
I'm gonna
like to.
Yes, I'm gonna take a point of deja vu. As well. The world will take it too. And you asked him where he got his meats from, and he did it in such a sly way that he's just like, well, yeah, actually, I mean, I go up to room 302 and I just go to the woods, and then I just, I see whatever's out there and I kill it and I bring it back here, and it makes more than 2. And he's like, oh, and kind of stops. He's like, oh, you don't need to know how the sausage is made. You just need to know that,
I just need to know that it's there. I just need to know that it's
you just
there.
Need to know where I sleeve it,
Yeah. I'm going to see how much of this I can put away here. I'm just gonna grab handfuls of meat and just fill my mouth full of it.
Do we have a concept of pockets, or have we lost the concept of pockets?
No.
With the concept of
Storage, uniforms, it's gone.
drawers? Okay, I guess we're just going to carry some meat around with us.
No, we aren't. We're just going to consume, and we know where to get more. Room 302. Now, 302 was the woods, correct? And he didn't seem to he didn't seem to want to go into too many more details. I thought there would have been a kitchen or something.
No,
So,
you kind of slipped the question past him, so he didn't want to go into more detail.
Gotcha. So, I mean, we could just retire to room 302 and have all the meat we'd want. We'd have to kill it,
All right,
which
let's
suggests
not get
that
off.
Stripper has shown a propensity for killing, albeit animals.
True. Let's not forget the important part is we are still trying to solve a murder, and possibly more than one murder, and possibly murders that haven't happened yet. We can't just buckle down and keep eating this delicious meat stuff for,
And we can't work on an empty stomach. I mean, when's the last time we ate? When's the next time we'll be able to eat?
Well, last we ate was like literally a second ago, and the next time we eat is we don't know yet.
That's a trick question. It's now.
All right. Well,
So while I'm here, we're going to eat until we are sick.
we are not doing
because,
that. We've got
Yes,
something else
we're going to
do.
eat
We're
until
gonna
we are
eat
sick, or until he asks us to pay the check, at which point we're gone.
So I'm gonna say that you, if you're gonna do that, you're actually gonna recover the head injury, because you're gonna spend a 4-hour time slot of just consuming meat for 4 hours on your own thing. You're gonna heal an injury from that, and you're gonna get a point of deja vu.
I think
Doing that.
I think if I spent 4 hours of eating meat, I would actually
Just at the
incur an
Brazilian
injury.
The Brazilian
Like
steakhouse. Just
I think that would actually hurt more.
going hard. Well, you never know. Like, we might not be able to eat this again, and we've got to. This might go away.
This is also Fallout rules where food just heals injuries, so fair enough.
Possibly. We're also sitting very close to a
Consumed
very
all of the
warm
cheese
fire,
wheels.
so
Yeah.
I have to I have to assume we're dried out now since we've been sitting near a fire.
I'm going to think that if the dude was just carrying the meat on him, he didn't possibly have 4 hours of meat on him.
Oh, he had to make several trips, to fill the
because
need
from
of
what
the
I
meat.
heard, if you have 4 hours of meat, you need to call a doctor anyway.
But you weren't. I would say that it wasn't a wrap. Like, you enjoyed each piece. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like it was.
This
like
was-
you were drinking wine.
Well,
When he
that may have been
goes
more
to
so
get
if it
more.
were the supernumerary. The light touch was
Oh, that's
probably sneaking bites into pockets
Other-
and everything too. Like, we're
That's true.
we're going to make sure we've got some for later.
So basically, since we don't know about pockets, we've been tucking it into the waistband of our trousers.
Somewhere.
Got a bunch of drumsticks hanging in your belt loops.
Just, I mean,
Okay, so
if that dude
when
could
he
do it with a
leaves to get
towel,
meat,
Okay, let's not sell the guy. I mean, I don't trust the guy very much, but let's not undersell his skills. That man isn't just using a towel.
he's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
He is a meat artist.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a sandwich artist like Subway, just a full-on meat
Yeah,
artist.
this is just
Okay,
No, yes, I get it. He's a guy who could definitely handle his meat. We have someplace else to be, though. Are we really going to just keep sitting here eating?
okay. When he goes to get more meat, is he going to like the back of the restaurant, or is he leaving to go to room 302?
Oh, you're right. We should follow him and figure out where he's getting the meat, because then we'll know
he
where
said
to get
it was
more meat
302. He
later.
said it was in the woods where the grave
But-
was.
But you know what? Let's go. Let's follow him, and then, because one of our concerns is where we going to get more meat later.
Okay.
Let's
yeah.
find out where
All
he's
right.
getting the meat, and then we
Let
can
me-
get our own meat.
Okay. I'm a clean up what he's got on the table, and when he goes out to resupply, we will sneak on after him. We'll tell him.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Okay.
have you do a roll just for this tale to kind of like figure out what's going on. So I'm gonna have you roll. There's like a nice sneak one that's called Signal. Yeah, do another
Signal discipline.
signal roll. Yeah. So you're following him to see where he gets the meat.
Yep. And let me see what Untraceable gives me. Always and automatically avoids leaving signs of their passage to the greatest degree humanly possible. I may also automatically signal on discipline rolls to fabricate and present an alibi if such becomes necessary. I won't have corroborating evidence, but my alibi is impeccably constructed. All right, so that's enough for success, and I won't spend a deja vu to bump it up. I'm just gonna hold that W, and we'll see where it takes us.
Okay. So you're kind of like trailing behind him, sneaking behind him, and you see him go to room 302. He pulls out a key and opens the door. And with the door, as you know, he goes through the door, you kind of like stop the door a little bit with your foot and sneak into the room. And you're kind of just in the doorway. And you realize that you want to kind of hunker down a little bit because he goes over to the lamp and clicks the lamp 3 times, and then he is in the woods. And you have kind of positioned yourself behind a bush out there. So here's this guy, fully oiled up, full muscle man here. He's got a chef's hat on and a Speedo on. He's got a yellowish skin, and he's got a chef's knife in his hand. And he's out there, and he starts looking around, listening for things, and he's just listening. And then you hear oink, 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 and you hear kind of a rustling of leaves. And then he leaps out, this Speedo-clad man with a chef's knife, and reaches into a bush and grabs the throat of a pig, and then takes the chef's knife and stabs the pig's corpse, or excuse me, the pig itself, stabs it right in the gut. And the pig that he held in his hand gets down and runs off into the forest, and he is still holding the corpse of the pig.
Ah, that was weird. Does he keep killing the same pig over and over?
Is he able to duplicate things? If we killed him, would there be another stripper?
that's how the guy
Well,
didn't
there'd
wake
be
up dead.
If he
A
killed
living
us,
stripper.
would there be another us?
Okay, we're not going down that road. Come
Well,
on,
he's the
we're
one with the
talking
knife.
business.
I think we
That's-
have to go down that road because it's
No,
more
no, that's
likely he'll
okay.
kill us than we
That
kill
is-
him.
Listen, we are here to solve a murder. The last thing we need to do is contemplate the fact that we become some kind of duplicate, and then we become one of the murder victims or suspects. We're not doing that. And the
If
Chiaroscuro is
Mar-
actually going to mentally disassociate from this whole mental direction.
Is it murder if the person's still alive and exists afterward?
Oh. No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey!
yes, it is murder. Because the original,
Actually, yes.
as far as we know, the original ceases. It's a copy.
All right, show of
a
hands,
copy
yes or
of a
no?
copy.
I think that's a yes.
I say yes.
I really don't want this to be a crime.
But why? That's like our entire job, our whole reason for being here, right? It's to solve a crime. More importantly, I think the crime we're solving is the murder of our brother. So, this is something we have to, this is who we are. This is what we need to do.
We can be whatever we want, though.
Can we?
We
Can we?
can't.
Then what are we? We're
Whatever
a
we
sopping
want to
wet
be.
dude in a trench coat who sits here and eats meat until he explodes.
God damn, when you put it that way,
Yeah, well,
you're going to have to do better if you want to convince me to solve this crime, because
okay.
that
How
sounds like the
about-
life.
What if the person who gets killed next is the guy who prepares this delicious food?
Then he'll just come back.
Are we sure? Because if he's the one who brings people back, if they're killed and he's killed, will there be any more duplicates? Or will we be, then we will have not prevented a murder, there will be no more delicious meat, and it will be our fault.
What's the most lethal sausage that I have on my person?
The one you choke on.
GM, what's the most lethal sausage I have on my person?